If you guys aren't keeping up with him, he averages now 10 million views per video, if not more, which is PewDiePie levels. I mean, I don't think we've seen a creator hit that consistently in a while. And so for you guys to have that relationship from the get-go is super powerful. What was that first video that SeatGeek empowered?
So I remember it pretty like it was yesterday. This guy on my team, Jeremy, reached out to David and he wanted to partner with him. And David said, yep, I want to buy my best friend tickets to the World Series when the Cubs were in the World Series. So this was a couple of years ago. And I was like, okay, sounds cool. We get on the phone with David and his agent. And David said, this is exactly how I want my ad to go. And I was like, well, no, we do it this way. And don't ever get on the phone with David Dobrik. Like, never do it. Because he will sell you on, you'll give up everything. So I was like, by the end of the phone call, I'm like, fine, we'll do it your way. We're cool with it. We're so excited.
Double the tickets.
I came in acting like real hard. And it was pretty quick. Like, David was a force to be reckoned with. And he did the ad his way. And it worked. And then I think we've done 15 videos with him so far. We've given away 12 cars, tuition. I don't know. We've given away so much
cash.
Private jets. Yes. I mean, the thing about David is about 3 videos in, he pitched us. He said, and it was, in hindsight, it made a lot of sense. I'm going to make you guys a character in the videos. So you're going to be more than just a brand. When people hear the word SeatGeek, they know something amazing is going to happen. But not every time is it going to be tickets. And you have to trust me that my audience is going to recognize that this is going to work. And this is before we did cars and telling my boss we're buying cars. Our ticketing company is...
And guys, not just cars. I mean, these are Teslas, a Ferrari.
Teslas. We just got Natalie a blue Bronco.
Oh, which is beautiful.
I mean, I think we're at 5 Mercedes.
Are you guys going through the logistics of actually buying the car? Okay.
David would love me to.
But you're just like, bro, we just got to cash a check and figure it out. Because I imagine that's a little difficult. I imagine that would take some time.
I mean, I think I just like to keep it clean just because we're doing so much that I'd rather David figure it out. Like David and Casey wanted to go to the Mayweather-McGregor fight, and he wanted us to book the private jet, and trying to wrangle 10 YouTubers schedule after that moment with the private jet company, I said, I'm never doing this again.
Which I'll say, in some cases, that's when agencies come in handy because they do that heavy lifting. I'm not anti-agent. I'm the only thing I would say is if I would encourage brands, I think brands are to be more involved, right?
I think people are just feel like they don't know what they're doing, so they're scared just to reach out.
And
I think that's a mistake because it's not rocket science. It's a human-to-human connection. And the minute you start outsourcing to an agency, when you reach out, I don't think they're going to tell your brand story as well as you are. They're definitely not going to negotiate as well as you are. And then you lose that connection.
So from the get, was it him texting you and like, hey, car, or this XYZ, or was that relationship, did it take some time to develop?
Yeah, it took some time. I think David lives second to second. So I think when David has a content idea, he stops at nothing to make it happen. And that's where I would never call us a producer, but we play the role of like the Cody Co video too, where a creator has an idea that they want to execute that is probably going to cost money. And it's a creative idea that they know that SeatGeek's going to support in terms of, so they'll call us. And so I think with David, he will come up with an idea that day and we want to be the place that he calls together. So it took some trust to be built in that we were easy to work with, in that we're not going to send really onerous creative points that he has to hit. And I will approve a video faster than you've ever seen a brand approve a video. If you text me at 10 p.m. at night, I'll have it approved by 10:05.
Oh my gosh.
That's just...
What?
that's just how we work.
Makes me so jealous. I will say Squarespace has crushed it on the approvals for me. They're so quick, but they're the only ones that can turn around in like maybe 3 hours. But I've never heard of 5 minutes.
Well, I'm overhyping myself.
Oh my gosh.
But we move fast. That's,
No, and that's why you guys are winning. I mean,
yeah, because we're never going to be, candidly, we're never going to be the most money. We just aren't. But we're going to be easy to work with, and we're going to let you have a lot of creative freedom. And I think we understand our value prop, and creators now understand our value prop, which has allowed us for Cody Co and Noelle to say, okay, if we bring this cool idea to them, it's not going to become, you're not going to have 5 people on the email chain, an agency, a bunch of lawyers. You're going to work with Ian, Shannon, and Greg, and we're going to make it work.
Yeah. I didn't think about the moment where it shifted from a experience that is directly associated with SeatGeek, like a game, to a car.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Was that internally kind of a nightmare to convince some people that, oh, hey, SeatGeek will be associated with still excitement and fun and joy. It might just not directly correlate with like a game.
Totally. I mean, I think any marketer who gets pitched, you sell live events, and now you're suddenly
cars,
basically a car dealership, would tell you that you shouldn't do that. And I might agree with them. I would say, but there's exceptions to every rule. And when you have creators like David or people who have that kind of audience, you have to put a level of trust that their audience understands that. I think what's different particularly about YouTube audiences is, if you support the creator's content, the fans really support that brand. Yeah. So if you can feel the authenticity in David's vlogs that we helped make this happen.
Totally.
David's literally put himself calling me on the videos, which is an incredible behind the scenes moment, not one that I was ready for, but.
So that was like on the spot. That wasn't like rehearsed.
I was walking home from work and I get a call and it's like, David's like, hey, Ian, I'm with Jason. And we have to ask you a question. And I'm like, okay. And I could tell by their like inflections that like something was off. And I was like, am I on camera? And he was like, yep. And I was like, okay. And then he just goes for it. But I think like it all goes back to like people understand that we're supporting David and letting these things happen. And even though we're not associated with cars, we're associated with David's content.
Right.
So I think that's like what the hump we had to get over internally.
Definitely.
But I could see a lot of people getting hung up on that and never being able to move forward.
For the people out there who are maybe in an agency, or maybe they're trying to grow a brand with other people and work with a team, obviously SeatGeek sounds like a wonderful, open-minded place to work. But other people might not have the joy of the same atmosphere of being open to ideas, right? Totally. To even have that initial conversation. So outside of maybe just getting a new job, and maybe that is one option, what's some advice for people who are in it and might want to try out some new ways? Like, hey, affiliate marketing, influencer, maybe not doing the same TV ad we've done every year because we're throwing money down the drain. Yeah. What's some advice you give to individuals and organizations that want their ideas out there, but maybe not a lot of people reciprocate? Does it have to be like, does the company have to have a culture first?
No. I mean, I think it's tougher. The more the company is set in its ways, I think it's harder.
Yeah.
I think influencer marketing, going back to that article, has become this like very polarizing buzzword that I think if you can break down what you're actually getting. So I think people don't understand properly that. So when we partner with David or Cody Co, we are getting someone to ideate an ad for us, to storyboard it, to film it, to act in it, and to distribute it. And to legitimize it. Like if you were to say that to a lot of traditional marketing folk, they'd say, "Are you crazy? That's insane. We need 6 agencies for that." Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And and the distribution too. No. And so I think that's what people don't understand. Or the other comparison I often make is like, imagine you're watching your favorite TV show, and in the middle of the TV show, the main actor turns around, looks into the camera, and says, "What you're about to see next wouldn't have been possible without SeatGeek." Like, I think it really helps people to get past that hump if you can really get into, like, break it down to what you're actually buying and get past this influencer word, because influencer now has become like very much associated with, like, I view like very Instagram influencer campaigns.
Like the people with the teas that make you shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas I think YouTube is just, it's very similar. It's similar to podcasts in a lot of ways, like long form content.
They have a dedicated audience.
Yeah. I think if you break it down like that, that's a great place to start. And then the second thing I'd recommend is, so I break it down like that. And then I'd say, this is our most frenetic community on YouTube that I think I can reach. So for us, it was those 2K basketball players. I would like to think that each brand has a smaller audience they can reach, and then trying to do those ticket or product swaps. Yeah.
Just provide value. Because, the people love the buzzwordy, like, micro influencers or stuff, but people who are, from 10K to 30K on Instagram, if you can provide value in the form of tickets or product or, XYZ, it doesn't necessarily have to be money. I mean, those people are just so excited,
right?
That, because to them, it almost validates them, you know? And so that can be the start of a really good relationship.